Back, Casey Campbell with Great Lakes Post. Pleased to be joined by John Philippe Bergeron of David Gillen Racing. He'll be running in the number 46 ARCA 46 Ford for the team in this weekend's ARCA Menard Series race at Kansas. How's it going, man?
I'm going really good. Yourself?
Doing well. So I know this is your first big track in NASCAR. I know you've raced all different types of racing all over the world, but what are these stock cars like to race at?
Well, honestly, I've been racing much more short track stuff in Canada and northern US for a while. Decided to step my game and go to ARCA after I met David last winter down in New Smyrna for Speed Weeks. I feel like going to an ARCA car was a big swing for me because these cars are much heavier than what I usually race. I usually race late models, so about 500 pounds heavier, big sprint cars, so a bunch of different stuff. I feel that getting used to these cars took me a while. Well, not a while, but it took me a whole practice day just to find out the car works. I'm glad we had some great speed at Salem 3 weeks ago. Just got to work out on saving my tires because that's what I found maybe lacking on my driving style.
Yeah. So of course this is a big track for you in Kansas, but what is it like for you to race at this big track that a lot of you haven't really had a lot of experience on?
No, never. Actually, I have only iRacing experience for a mile and a half as of now. Uh, I mean, that's kind of my concern of going to a mile and a half track. At least we have some practice, and if I don't hop in and race like the Xfinity Euro Cup guys do right now, so I think I'm probably gonna do good. I have good resources with the team. Frank Kimmel's with me. David Gillen is coming this weekend as well. So I have a bunch of people to rely on and try and learn how to drive a mile and a half because that's really something I don't know. Don't know anything about aerial style and stuff. So I know I'm going to follow a lot of guys that are good, and I've made a bunch of starts. We talk about Corey Ime with Ty Gibbs, a guy like that much more experience than me. But I'm pretty sure we'll find our way around and we'll get up front by the end. That I'm sure.
So talk about these. You of course will also be at the ARCA West finale at Phoenix in a few weeks, but talk about going and racing in these types of cars. Was it weird at first getting used to them when you were at Salem a few weeks ago?
Yeah, well, felt really weird because I usually drive cars that have a lot less horsepower than what the Arga cars do. I drove a super late one, so that was much more similar power wise, but I mean in the corner doesn't feel near the same. So felt special at Salem, I would say, especially that the track is really a unique shape and has a lot of bumps. So it was a whole adaptation for me. I felt like I got comfortable with the car like in the last stage by the end of the race. So for sure it's really special, but I think just learning to drive a different car will just get me better driving wise, and I'm sure if we do more races in the future, the three races this year will help me a lot getting used to this kind of cars.
Yeah. So what is your plan for next year? Has that really kind of been established? Where do you want to be?
We don't have anything established right now. For sure, we're trying to make a full season. That we're not hiding this. We would like to make a full season, but I mean, we got to work on a bunch of sponsors and getting the right people with us. I know we're with good people with DGR. Would like to continue with them. We just got to work on this. We haven't talked about next year at all. Not even for what I race here in Canada. Usually, we don't have really anything set for next year. We're working on a bunch of things, but yeah, we would like to try and make the more races we can in the ARCA Menards Series Tour.
Yeah, of course. So what's going to be like trying to get there? What do you want to see out of this car team, really, as you come into this track of Kansas?
Well, I think just like I said, the part that's going to be the more difficult is for me to adapt to mile and a half track. Just I know the team prepares me a great car. To have a car that Tad Moffat drove there a few times. Have the same crew chief, Derek Smith. So I know we're gonna have a good piece. I think I'm just gonna have to rely on my resources to make sure I learn the track. But I expect some good stuff because I know DGR always brings some good cars. So that I'm not too scared about. I think that the thing that will maybe not handicap me, but maybe is going to be the the hardest part is really driving style and getting used to the speed, because never drove at 190 miles an hour at all. So it's going to be a whole new thing for me.
All right. Well, JP Bergeron, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. Good luck this weekend at Kansas.
Well, thank you very much, man. Pleasure.